You've heard us talk about them. They're in, and they're on the website.
Absolutely. Our brand new America's Diesel podcast, branded bills, badass, flex fit, performance material, sweat stain resistant. It literally feels like it cools your head.
I don't know how that's possible, but somehow it is. Yeah, you can rock it. You know, I'm more of a flat bill kind of guy. You can do that. You can curve it. For all you taco holder guys, you can even throw that in there. Yeah. And then snap back with a little bit of the flex fit. Yeah. Big head approved, small head approved.
And it's extremely comfortable. I almost guarantee, I say almost guarantee. No, I guarantee this is the most comfortable hat you will ever wear. And the logo, rubber. Awesome. Yeah. Came out great.
Super detailed rubber on there, so it's never going to fade on you. If you want to get one of these in your hands, they are $50, shipped to the lower 48, plus tax, if applicable in your state. Just go on the dieselpowerproducts.com, search hat, look for the fantastic Jam and Eagle logo, pick yourself up some before they're out of stock.
Yeah.
Special announcement for all you 6'4 guys. This episode is just for you. This one may surprise you. Yeah. Straight up.
Is it going to surprise me?
I think it might a little bit. It's gonna be a hot take on 6.0s and 6.4s.
Okay,
but I think it's justified.
All right, fair enough. This week's podcast episode is brought to you by Fuel Bomb Diesel Additive, an additive designed for diesel enthusiasts, made by diesel enthusiasts. Ben, take it away.
Hell yeah, dude. So this is our in-house Fuel Bomb fuel additive for your diesel truck. Our biggest thing here is making sure that you can pretty much always have diesel additive on you all the time. You've got a lot of other additives out on the market that they have, anti-gel in there all the time. They have cetane in there all the time. They end up being big and bulky bottles. Our standard everyday diesel fuel additive is 1 ounce per 32 gallons, and that's its main job is to make sure that your fuel system stays lubricated and prevents the formation of algae. And it should also help you in colder climates too.
Should definitely help you in colder climates. Along with cleaning your fuel system and maintaining it, it'll also help you bump that cetane number up for a more efficient burn of your diesel fuel. And if cetane is just what you're after, there's the Fuel Bomb Hellfire, which is our straight 8+ cetane enhancer.
Yeah, and you guys asked, and we brought them back. We did go away from the bottles that didn't have the measuring little parts in there. We brought them back for you, so now you can measure out your 1 ounce per 32 gallons for the F-Bomb or 4 ounces per 32 gallons for the Hellfire.
Both these additives are available on our website, dieselpowerproducts.com. Now let's get back to that episode.
Let's get this thing going here. Thanks for tuning in. This has been On Time from America's Diesel Podcast, coming at you in Spokane, Washington. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure and check us out on Google Play, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube.
Podbeam,
apparently.
Bean or Beam?
Bean.
Bean with
like
an
beans, the magical fruit. The more you eat, the more you eat, the better you feel. It's like beans for every meal.
Oh. I haven't heard that since I was like 6.
I know.
So thanks for that.
Have kids. It all comes back around. Make sure and check us out there. And also, if you want to leave a comment or get a chat going, we usually do that on the YouTubes because I know nobody actually watches podcasts except for Jim Lawrence because he admitted he watches podcasts. He's an idiot. So welcome, Jim. You're like the one guy who watches podcasts. But yeah, that's the best place to leave comments. Make sure and check us out on our social medias. You can find us on there by searching America's Diesel Podcast. That's Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. We are trying to pump our Instagram numbers. We do go live every Wednesday right around 5 p.m. We just got off of one of those right now. If you want to come have a beer with the boys on Wednesdays, that's the best way to do it. But you got to follow our Instagram to do that. That's, again,
it was a little lively
Diesel
today.
Podcast.
Rapid fire questions.
It was lively today, and I did no warning. I did no live at 5. I just went live. I told nobody.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, at one point we had 18.
That's amazing.
I know 18 doesn't sound like a lot because you see other influencers that go live and like, there's 10,000 people in here.
They're also showing boobs and butthole, all right?
I'm not saying I'll do it, but if that's what it takes,
that's what it's going to take.
If that's what it takes, just...
I'll show half a nipple, all right? That's it. That's all you get, okay? You got to pay to get the rest of it.
When my girlfriend, now wife, first started dating me.
Easy with that.
Yeah, I know, right? When first started dating me, and she was like, everybody told me when we first started dating that you're the naked guy. I'm the naked guy. I'm the guy at the parties that's for no reason to be naked.
Just take her clothes off and go streaking to the what is it?
I hate running. I'm not even streaking. It's just like, it's hot.
Yeah.
Off. Hat, shoes. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I got. Yeah, so that got weird. Make sure and check us out on all of those. If you are listening to this podcast and you're ordering parts and diesel power products, make sure and let them know that you are a listener, just so that we can tally these up at the end of the month. Make sure that we show the guys upstairs that we are down here doing things that actually drive sales and not just drinking beer and farting around. Productive. Yeah, we do have sales techs on the phone Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Pacific time. They will get you taken care of. You can also place orders online. If you see the Quick Ship logo, that means it is verified in stock, ready to rock. Place the order, let it fly, swipe the card, do whatever you got to do. Reviews, Tyler.
Oh, yeah. Let's keep those reviews coming in. Leave a 5-star review on any of the platforms that Ben mentioned earlier. Screenshot that and send it to podcast@dieselpowerproducts.com. Make sure to include a picture of your truck and an address. We can send a sticker too. It looks just like our awesome, sick logo.
Yeah. Okay. 6.0s, 6.4s.
Yes.
Okay. If you have listened to basically any episode where a 6.4 is mentioned, you know my feelings on 6.4s. Garbage. Just garbage, first off. They have their redeeming qualities, but they have a lot more deeming qualities.
Yeah.
All right.
Say.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So, Dustin, you're getting a major shout on this one because you and I were Facebook messaging today about this. But Dustin used to work here, doesn't anymore. No hard feelings. Still one of our close boys.
A little bit of some hard feelings, but that's okay.
From Tyler.
We'll get over it.
Yeah, we'll get over it. All right. Still one of our homeboys, like for sure, all day, every day. He now works for a I don't know if it's a fleet company, but he works on fleets of trucks.
I thought he was moving.
Well, he did.
Where'd he move to?
He's like out past Bree, like past
Oh.
Wilbur.
I thought he was like moving out of state.
No,
Oh,
he did not leave.
gotcha.
But yeah, and he's working on fleet trucks. And they've got a lot of Fords and a lot of Dodge, a lot of Rams. But he is now seeing like long time records of trucks that they've had, and he's starting to kind of, me and him were kind of going back and forth today. He's like, dude, we've had a 6.0 here since like 07, and it's costed us this much year to date. And after the math, it ended up being like about $2,800 a year to keep this thing on the road. And then, it kind of sparked the conversation. They have like a 6.7 there too. That's cost us some money. We started throwing numbers back and forth and whatnot. And that basically sparked the conversation of, he mentioned that there are some guys that works there or that he knows or that, talk about this kind of stuff. They're like, yeah, for people that say like 6.0s suck, there's a decent amount of people out there that just like are like 6.4s are way better than 6.0s. And that got me thinking, why do I hate 6.4s so much?
Yeah.
Maybe like, do they get a bad rap? Because everybody thought this way, the 6.0s, right? You think about 5-6 years ago, actually more like 10 years ago, it was like 6.0s, don't touch them with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, but it was mostly like top end issues, which are relatively easy.
So you're thinking exactly the same way I am right now. Yeah.
Relatively easy to fix. There is a fix.
Pop a head gasket.
You know what happened.
Right.
It's done. You do it once and you're done. For the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. And
then you get to a 6.4, which like typically if they have issues, they
crack piston. Oh, need a new engine. Shit.
But when let's take a step back here. So okay, first off, 6.0s. If you didn't know about a 6.0, 6.0s were 03 to 07 Ford Powerstrokes. For that year range of engine, that was like there were more 6.0s produced than I think Duramaxes and Rams combined for that generation.
I believe it.
Ambulances had them, tow trucks had them. They were everywhere. And there was also the VNT or VVT 365 or whatever it is, the industrial version.
No idea.
Someone will probably correct me on that, I know. Yeah. But they were everywhere. And that's where you get this thing model like, there's 6.0s always in the shop. Yeah, because there's like 2 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's just going to be more being worked on, okay?
Fair enough.
But if you talk to a fleet, someone who has a fleet of them, they usually either loved them or hated them. And the guys that, I wouldn't say necessarily loved them, but that were okay with them because it was part of their fleet are the guys that were religious on maintenance. These are the guys that have dedicated technicians that keep these trucks on the road because they don't have time for these things to fail.
Right.
And we both know 6.0s and 6.4s are very maintenance. They're princesses when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You miss an oil change on a 12 valve or even a 7.3, even another Hue injected engine or something like that. You just don't change the oil on your 12 valve. It's still going to run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's still going to start, still going to run, still going to make decent power. It might just start running a little bit crappier, and then if the engine blows and you score a cylinder or something like that, you got to reseal the engine. Reseal kit with pistons, what, like $1,300?
Yeah.
And basically, if you've got eyeballs and hands, you can fix it.
Yeah.
They're really simple engines. Whereas on a 6.0, I'm not even talking about oil. You forget to change like the coolant when you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Stops.
Yeah.
Everything.
Full stop.
Full stop. Everything, rebuild. Something wrong. Sensors going off left and right, blah, blah. So they are princesses when it comes to maintenance. But when you start thinking about how 6.0s are regarded now compared to 6.4s, you think to yourself, in the future, our 6.4 is going to be regarded to in the same way in a few years that 6.0s were. And what I mean by that is 6.0s, now they are basically a known evil, if you will say. You can find, and once you learn about 6.0 and you get enough hands on them, you realize that. And I'm not saying that everybody go buy a 6.0 for your first diesel. In fact, I advise heavily against that.
Yeah.
But Dustin is starting to notice, because he's had his hands on a whole bunch of 6.0s. He's like, they're really not that bad. You just need to know what you're getting into. They make decent power, even in stock form.
Oh, yeah.
And they last a long time, and they get good mileage.
Yeah.
It's just the guys that run them into the ground or that don't change the oil that typically have the issues.
Oh, my wife's calling.
Yeah. Should you answer it? We're keeping it real on the podcast here. Tyler's wife's calling.
Hi, honey.
He's going to have to get an extension. This one.
Not yet.
This one went a little bit longer. She's asking him questions, but I think we're okay. Can you hear it through the microphone, Corey?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll grab him a cup.
Things are going okay?
Yeah, and then a case of beer.
Case of beer? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
They haven't come in yet.
Just a Budweiser with the bottles, though.
A can of the C1 for this weekend. I didn't, because I just thought his birthday was this weekend, because I can't pick it up tonight.
It's funny. You can hear Tyler talking, but...
Because they closed already, but that was my plan.
We'll mute this part.
No, we're not going to mute it.
Okay.
Just so you guys know, Budweiser's coming out in new cans.
I love you.
I didn't drink Budweiser to begin with, but I'm not going to.
I thought I was going to get yelled at.
I kind of thought you were too, but everything's okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
It's my buddy Keith's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
So she's like, get him a cup or something. I'm like, okay, I'll grab him a cup.
Okay, yeah. Get your cup, Keith. Hell yeah, Keith. Even though you drive a Duramax.
Yeah.
Give him a full
Bye,
cup.
Mark.
That's a full cup.
You gotta give him a full cup.
That's a full cup. All right, back to the discussion. So, and once you get familiar with them, they're not too bad. So then you start thinking to yourself, like, you can find a 6.0, a nice trim package that people just don't want to work on anymore for cheap, as long as you know what you're getting into, which is true. You're not wrong. You got to know what you're getting into. But the thing with 6.4s is, even if you know what you're getting into, you're still going to pop a piston.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
Like it's,
The engine's coming out.
Yeah. So then it started leading me to think, like, because there's obviously 6.4s in fleets as well.
Oh, yeah.
And in that respect, obviously, a maintenance princess, if you maintenance them well, they should last you a long time. If you don't turn them up a long time or turn them up super high and you maintenance them, they should last you, just like any engine should, right?
Yeah.
And so in that respect, I can see why people would say 6.4 is better than a 6.0. Dead stock, fleet, maintenance, okay, I get that. But then I really started thinking, like, did the 6.4 get a bad rap? Did it? And then it made me think. I think the 6.4 was dealt a shit hand.
You think?
I think so. Hear me out on this.
All right.
Okay. Let's think about this, timeline-wise, what's going on in the world when it came out and everything like that, okay? So you've got this engine, so Ford, you had the legendary 7.3. You basically had two versions. You had the non-intercooled OBS. You had the 99.03. Super Duty 7.3, and then more restrictions were coming out, so we came out with the 6.0, and overall, maybe they were thinking like, okay, things were not necessarily bad with the 6.0, but wasn't great. We definitely need to make sure, what can we do to make people happy? Well, we know that we're going to get hammered with more emissions when this next engine comes out.
Right.
Right, because it's 07.5, 08. That's right, when that happened, when you start seeing DPF and EGRs. We got to make sure that we're at least getting them power. If we can get them power, we can do that. So you think back to it, it's 08. You can get a truck running piezo injectors and compounds. Okay. Ahead of its time.
Yes.
Okay.
But you notice that no one's ever done that since then.
True. But
I think during that whole entire time, they're obviously working on the 6.7. Because there's no way they developed a 6.7 engine in 1 year.
I agree. So yeah, I think that by the end of the 6.0, they were like, we need to have something that's our own. So they started work on the Scorpion, but they were like, well, it's not going to be done till 10 or 11. We need to have something in between here. Well, we've gone with
we've gone
with international. We'll go with international again.
Yeah.
But what I started thinking about is, so what kills 6.4s? So you have the whole piston issue, and a lot of the things with the piston issue is obviously when you start overpowering them, but also drive pressure. These things build drive pressure like crazy. Well, what's one of the things that can, and this is, again, I'm not preaching deleting trucks, okay?
Yeah.
But one of the things that can cause issues with excessive drive pressure, emission systems. They just kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Okay. One works off of the other, but when drive pressure gets too high, that's when you start seeing other issues. And so I started thinking to myself, what if the 6.4 came out like now with the emission systems we have now? Okay. The emissions have come a long way since 08. You and I both have talked about that.
Yeah.
Big time.
Uh-huh.
Imagine the 6.4 came out, and with what we know now about EGR and DPF and DEF, you now have a truck that has piezo injectors, compounds, makes good power stock, with a better emission system. Would it have gotten the bad rap it did?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We'll never know. They ain't gonna bring it back. That's for sure.
That's for damn sure they ain't gonna bring it back. But and one of the other reasons why I feel like 6.0s for a lot of folks are, they're okay with a 6.0. Find parts for 6.4s.
True.
It's hard, even just stock parts.
Well, and even I mean, like replacing a turbo on one of the turbos, it's pretty expensive.
Yeah,
it's not cheap, and it's not like a super easy job. That whole cartridge turbo setup is kind of a weird compound setup, if you will.
And it's heavy.
It's heavy and it's big. It's like the only turbo that we sell that is shipped on a pallet.
In the instructions, it says you have to use an engine hoist to get it in.
Yeah.
Like AFE makes a compound setup for that truck, and literally the instructions, the first thing they will ask you is, did you use, like if you call back and have an issue, like my turbos are leaking or something like that, they'll ask you, did you use an engine hoist?
Yeah.
Because it comes with its own bracket. Use an engine
hoist it in there, yeah.
Because if you try and take it apart or hoist it from a different section, it flexes and the seal starts leaking.
Yeah.
You're like, well, no, I did this one. That's why you fucked up.
Yeah.
It's like, it's in the instructions, page 1.
Yeah.
There it is.
First sentence.
It's on you, boo-boo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and that just got me thinking, like, maybe this 6.4 just kind of got a bad rap.
I think it was a not necessarily rushed, but it was a filler.
Yeah.
Because again, they were working on that 6.7 because there's years and years of production that R&D that goes into developing your own engine. Like they're the only company that has their own engine.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there's a lot. Like they were working on that entire time.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of cool to find out, like for real on that.
Like how long it took.
Yeah, how long it took, and when they started, and
how crazy would it be if they started designing that thing in like 06?
That would be crazy.
Like when they started producing the last iteration of the 6.0s, they were like,
"Here's what
the
we're
shit
doing,
ain't us, dog."
Yeah.
Well, I imagine, and we've like had satirical conversations about this of how that meeting probably went.
Yeah.
But like I can almost see them like towards the end of the 6.0s, and I assume I think it was around 06, 07 when the next emission standards came out, and I think it was for 08, and I want to say it was another one at 10 or 11 because you saw a big break up for other vehicles too. You could just see them there sitting there like, so are we going to make this 6.0 work? I mean, we could try.
Yeah.
We could try and make it work.
Yeah.
Or actually, I guess at that point, they would be talking to International because they don't make, Ford didn't make it.
And of course, International's like, guys,
yeah,
we've got this 6.4. It's badass. Use this engine. Yeah. It already meets emission standards, like ready to go.
Here it comes. You guys ready?
Yeah.
You guys remember how we did HUE injection?
Yeah.
You had oil, electricity, and fuel.
Yeah.
And you could have 3 fucked up things on your truck go wrong and have injectors not work. Well, guess what? We took those injectors out. We got these magic injectors called piezo.
Yeah.
Fucking crystals, man.
We went down to the palm reading lady on 5th Ave, and she had these crystals. And she had a whole box of them. And we're like, hey, let's use these.
we decided to take some moving parts out. So we took the moving parts out of the injectors.
Yeah.
And we just added an extra turbo.
Yeah.
And we thought to ourselves, it'd be better than having one turbo, two turbos. If that's good, what's better than having one EGR cooler, two of them. Let's make this one vertical.
Yeah. One vertical, one horizontal.
Let's put a shit elbow in between both of them. Because, it's not going to see high temperatures. It's just exhaust.
Yeah.
We have compounds. That's what they're for.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fact.
Let's make these compounds look not even like a turbo whatsoever.
Yeah. We've got an actuator on one of them.
It's bigger than some homeless people's tents.
We got it for $12.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
We're going to put them on.
Deal.
Yeah. When you sell the truck, it comes brand new with a spare actuator.
Yeah.
Because we know it's going to fuck up.
But the interiors are great, too.
Transmission, though?
Yeah.
Hey.
Rock solid.
Fantastic. Front axle, not changing a thing. Dashboard, tasteful upgrade.
Tasteful upgrade.
And guess what? We got a tailgate with a step on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sick. Yeah. I would, it's one of those what ifs, but I would love to, and I know no one's ever going to do it, right? Because I know people are saying, Ben, why don't you do it? What do you think I am?
Yeah.
Okay. You know how much a 6.4 costs?
Yeah.
Like, not the truck, but like if you were to buy a 6.4 engine, it's like $24,000.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember the conversation I had with my dad. Like, he had one of his friend's sons had a 6.4 that had issues. Keep in mind, my dad doesn't know shit about diesels. Like, he knows what they are. That's about it. And he's like, hey, my friend's son is having an issue with his Powerstroke. It's a 6.4. I'm like, cool. What happened? He's like, well, it's in the shop. I was like, well, I hope he didn't crack a piston, because they always crack pistons. I'm going to guess it's one of the two in the front, probably number one. It's on the passenger side. Also, if he ends up needing a new engine, they're like $20,000-$25,000. And my dad was like, basically, you fucking serious?
Yeah.
The truck's 12 years old.
Yeah.
And I was like, Google it, man.
Google it.
And he Googled it. He's like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it sucks, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what he just did? He went into debt.
Yeah. He went into debt.
Bankruptcy!
Yeah. Wait, bankruptcy will wipe this out, right? Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Yeah. Can I just file bankruptcy now?
Yeah. But sir, your financial situation is actually pretty good. It's just this truck. Like, I don't care. Want out of it.
Is there a way that you
I've
could,
lived my life.
Yeah. Just put me in the ground. This thing's done.
Yeah. You got paperwork over there? You're scaring me with your paperwork.
No, today was just a 6.0, 6.4 thing. This is from last week.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like the body style. I like the interiors. I like the transmission. I like all that about a 6.4, but I think I still would go to a 6.0 9 times out of 10.
See?
I mean,
Now let's say here, and this is just for argument's sake, let's say the truck had been in Mexico, and it's still 2013, 14, where finding tuning is not an issue. Blah 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 blah. It's like before everything went down. Still,
it would be a fun 15 minutes.
For those of you that let me clue you in here. For those of you that don't know, I'm sure if you're listening to this, you either own or know about 6.0s or 6.4s. But if you don't, if you want to win a local dyno, you're gonna want to buy a 6.4. Okay, and
Make sure it has the Spartan tuner on it.
yeah, you're gonna want to buy a 6.4. You want to make sure it's been in Mexico. Again, I don't advocate for this, but I'm telling you what I've seen.
Yes.
With literally my own eyes, with trucks that I've driven. Okay, you're gonna want to buy this truck. You're gonna want to take it to Mexico, bring it back. You're gonna want to put a tune on this thing. And
it's called the Warhammer.
Yeah, you're going to want to, whatever tune you get, if you can find a Spartan, you're going to put the Warhammer tune on. If you can't find the Spartan, you just want to keep clicking down until like it's all exclamation points on whatever tuner where it's like, don't use this tune. You're going to want to use that tune. And then you're going to want to put it on the dyno. And I shit you not, that truck deleted on a hot tune to the tire. And this, like the truck I'm thinking of personally, it's not geared. It was on 38s, and I'm pretty sure still 373s.
Yeah.
545, 550 to the tire.
Yeah.
On a dyno.
Yeah.
and this is the same UCC dyno, okay, guys? This is not some random guy's dyno. This is the UCC dyno. And I know UCC 336,000 or 3,336. I get that, yeah. But so this is not just like some rinky-dink stupid shit dyno.
Yeah.
But that truck will literally make 500 plus to the tire all day, every day, deleted.
For 15 days.
Here's the problem, though. You only got so many pulls in that thing.
Yeah.
And when you hear other people say like, "Oh, I've beat the crap out of this thing since day one and it keeps ticking," every truck has its number. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Some numbers are really high. Some numbers are medium. The 6.4 is like less than 20.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you'll be able to remember every single one of them.
Yes.
It's not one of those things like, man, I beat this thing for like 5 years, but it's about time. I went hard on it. This one's like, dude, I deleted it. I just went and won a dyno. Let's go do some street pulls. And like 4 or 5 hours, maybe 3 weeks later,
Yeah.
blown up.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. It's not your transmission. It's not your transfer case. It's not your axles. It's your engine.
Yeah.
She gone. She bye-bye. You're either cracking pistons or both your heads are going to look like a freaking like stained glass.
Yeah.
Spider cracks everywhere. They're gonna,
She went to Powerstroke heaven.
They're going to pull them off and be like, yeah, I can't use these, man. These things are toast.
Yeah.
And then you're going to try and source some. And they're going to be expensive as shit. And you're going to be like, why did I do this? I should have listened to them. And at least if I got a 6.0, lift ahead.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. No big deal.
Yeah.
And so that's why 6.0s or 6.4s are somewhat desirable. I want you to know, I have driven a tuned and deleted. Actually, I've driven tuned, intact, and deleted 6.4s. They get down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The power is addicting.
Yes.
And there's also another 6.4 that local guy up here, I think, you and I are probably thinking of the same truck. It was a all black murdered out with a single 366 on it, I think. Obviously, if you went to a non-VGT style turbo, you had to delete the truck. But there was a guy up here that had stock injectors, stock.
Is that Billy?
I think so.
Yeah.
I want to say.
I don't remember his last name.
I don't remember his last. Billy sounds right though.
Yeah.
Billy. I won't say Billy Badass, but Billy with the black truck. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
We're gonna call him Billy. But it was a murdered out. It was on Carly suspension. Had like 35s on, I don't know, maybe 18s or 20s. Tasteful, all tastefully done.
Yes.
Like loaded interior, all black everything, all the thing.
Yeah.
Very understated. Like you wouldn't think this truck is what it is. You just look at it and say, that's a nice truck.
Yeah.
But yeah, single 366, stock injectors, lift pump, tuning, deleted. I think it had an external wastegate on it because, again, drive pressure is the issue.
Yep.
And that thing absolutely ripped.
Mm-hmm.
Just did not care.
The key word is ripped.
Ripped past
tense.
You're wondering, hey, man, did with the external wastegate and the single turbo, did it alleviate the issues? No, it still blew up.
Yeah, it still blew up. Yeah.
He didn't escape it. He just lived a little bit longer.
Okay, I got a question for you. What sounds nastier? A 6.4, like you're saying, or a built 6.0?
So fixed vane 6.4 or VGT built 6.0?
Yeah.
Nastier, I'm going to say the 6.0.
Yeah.
The 6.4s with the fixed vane on there, they do sound pretty cool.
Yes.
6.0s with a fixed vane do sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, there's a lot of people out there that have not heard, like they know the 6.0 sound, but they have not heard a fixed vane turbo on a 6.0.
Yeah.
It's a cool sounding because remember, like when you think about what sound an engine makes, how it makes it with the turbo and whatnot, remember a 6.0, aside from a 6.0 is the smallest sized cylinder diesel truck engine, like 3/4 1 ton. Remember, because I know you think, oh, 5.9, it's only 6 cylinders.
Yeah.
Less cylinders, slightly less displacement, but that means the cylinders are larger to compensate for that. This has 8 cylinders and it's the 6.0. So it's got the smallest displacement cylinders, which means fucker gets pipey.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you get more R's out of it.
Yeah.
And this thing, when you hear that stuff, like, and that's why
they're nasty.
They're nasty. That's why people love the sound of 6.0s. Everybody may talk shit about them, but I dare you to find someone that has a straight pipe 6.0 that's just giving. You're just kind of like, my eardrums may be shot now because that whistle was really loud, but damn, that was cool.
Yeah. Right.
That was hot. So, and I'll be honest. If I had a 6.0, I'd straight pipe the shit out of it for sure. 100%. 100%. It's one of those rare times or rare things that people call in, like even with like a Cummins. Like, how do I get it to sound more like a 6.0?
Yeah. Get a 6.0.
Get a 6.0, man. Like I can get you.
I gotta go pee. You need to go talk to Corey for a second. Oh my God.
Hi.
So Tyler's got to run to the bathroom, but in true fashion, we don't stop for shit. We just keep the recording going.
That's very true.
Yeah. So we talked about in last episode a truck that you went and looked at, not so great.
Yeah. So on my truck search, since we're on this subject,
yeah.
So I'm also open to like F-250s, F-350s, you know, gas. And the wife, she keeps sending me 6.4s.
They're good looking trucks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the price is right.
Yeah.
For now.
And I was like, nope, that's 6.4. I don't want it.
Nope. Not gonna do it.
What's wrong with it? We just don't want it.
You just don't want that.
I promise you, we don't want it.
Babe, you just don't. This is. I've had this conversation before with a couple of my friends too, but like when they ask me something, I'm like very adamant about a certain issue, even something that's like buying a 6.4 or something like that. I'm like, whatever their name is, my wife or my friend's wife or something like that. It's like, it is literally my job to know these things that we're talking about. Yeah. If you were to ask me about home security or network servers or, you know, health equipment or something, I'm just naming off things that my friends that also have trucks do. You would talk to them. I don't know shit about that. It is literally my job, our job, like I said, everybody in this room, to know the things that we are supposed to know about this truck. So my first question to you is, why the fuck are you questioning me? It is literally my job. Like, people call in and ask me these questions, and I give them answers, and they don't ask why. Why the hell are you asking me why? Just because you're my friend, you think you're going to ask me extra questions why? Like, I'll explain it, like, I'll tell you why, but if you keep questioning me and try to, like, make an argument for it, I'm just going to be like, you know what, man? Buy 6.4.
Yeah, screw that guy.
Like, fuck it, man. Buy 6.4. When it breaks, I'm not going to say don't call me because I'm your friend. I still want to help you out. But when it breaks, and I tell you how much it's going to cost, you can't get pissed.
Right. You
have no room to get pissed.
Yeah.
All right? At all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Corey just mentioned it, they were looking at trucks still too, but the one his wife tends to keep sending in, they're all 6.4s. Oh. Because again, like everybody listening is already listening, but Tyler just came back from the bathroom. Like, they're good looking trucks.
Yeah.
And it's in your price range.
Right.
For a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm like, it's a 2010, 97,000 miles on it. 15 grand. Look, there's a reason.
Yeah. Oh God, yes. God, yes. He knows it's on his way out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if it's like a loaded one.
Yeah.
Yeah. He knows. He knows. Especially with the prices of diesels that you can get right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something right. And that's part of the hard part too, is knowing what you're getting into. Even if I went and started dicking around with a 6.4, I know a lot about 6.0s. I know even more about 7.3s. Like, I could, you know, that guy that like put my hand under the hood of a 7.3 and be like,
yeah.
Okay, I know what's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm the best, but like that's my jam. It's my wheelhouse. It's what I'm in tune with. 6.0s.
It's your weird fetish.
Yeah, I know, right? 6.0s, bring me a scan tool. Let me get in depth with it. Let me sit there for a minute. I can usually kind of like get a really good sense of how things are running. 6.4s, I'd be like, does it start? Sound good?
Must be good. Run it.
Offer him half? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
How's the tires?
Yeah.
The windows roll up and down?
Sweet.
Yeah.
Radio work?
Tailgate have a handle? Gonna need it.
Sweet. Yeah. It helps you get up there so you can sit on the side of the road and wait for a tow truck.
I love those jokes.
Yeah.
Ford, the only one that comes with a step and a handle, so you can make your way up to the tailgate and sit while you wait for the tow truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like the Fords now come with heated tailgates.
Yeah.
So you don't freeze your hands when you're pushing it when it's cold. Yeah.
My favorite one is Ford. They circled the problem for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want you guys to know, listening to this, if you've never listened before, I'm a Ford guy.
Yeah.
But funny shit's funny shit. Okay?
Yeah,
You got to take the lulls when you can.
Yeah.
So that's about going to wrap this one up, ladies and gentlemen. In the comment section, I know that one of our listeners, I want to say Kevin Sims, and the last name's Sims because he messaged us. He's the one who had a 6.4 in the shop. He sent me a picture of it. It's all done. It's red 6.4, beautiful truck. And I'm not. I know I'm calling him out now after we just talked a whole bunch of shit on 6.4s, right? But we've been chatting, and he's one of those guys that's like me. It's like 7.3s are slow and old and shitty and smoky. He's that guy too. He's like, I know they fucking break, but they're so cool.
Yeah.
Like, okay. As long as you get it, man.
As long as you know that. That going into it.
But yeah, his truck's back up and running now. It was not cheap, and he's happy with it. So therefore, I'm happy.
Yeah. That's all that matters.
But yeah. So yeah, I want to hear about in the comment section on YouTube. I want to hear about your 6.0 stories, your 6.4s. If you've got past experience working on a fleet of them. What you found, or if you had a company that had a whole bunch of 6.0s or something like that, like what you found. I'm interested to hear about that. Hearing Dustin being able to talk about his going into the records and looking at how much money they spent on each truck over his life. It's really cool to kind of see that because you don't get those isolated reports of like a one owner for 15 years,
right?
Detailed.
Yeah.
Because usually it's changes hands or all that other kind of shit, and especially with a fleet because they may have multiple trucks. So you have a little bit of a control group.
Yeah.
And you may find like, well, for some reason Tim's truck was always fucking breaking, but all the four other guys were fine. And then you find out Tim's got a heavy foot.
Yeah.
And, likes to, when the oil light comes on, he doesn't bring it to you till a month later.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, Tim was screwing us.
Yeah.
Damn it, Tim.
Yeah. Frickin' Tim's.
Frickin' Tim's, dude. Or Geoff's.
Oh, Geo. Yeah.
Jeff.
Her name's Jeff with a G-O. Yeah. Get out of here.
Get out of here with the weird spilling. That's about going to wrap this one up, guys. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe and check us out at dieselpowerproducts.com.